So you've been scouring YouTube. Crossfire. Where is the Crossfire with the new R9 series? I haven't found anything. Well, take a look. What you see there is two R9 270Xs in Crossfire. And this is a 27-inch PLS QHD 2560 by 1440p resolution. You want to see some? Y'all want to see some Crossfire? Y'all want to see some Crossfire? Y'all want to see some Crossfire performance? Well, I'm about to show you some. First of all, let's show you that I'm not lying. When you're running Crossfire, you will get frame pacing down here, which is not on at the moment. I recommend that you turn it off for the majority of games out there. The only game that I found is sensitive to it is Crisis. But that's just it. Crisis 3 is the only one that I found sensitive to it. And there you go. Crossfire is enabled. Can you see that? Alright. Alright, let's do, speaking of Crisis 3, let's do some gameplay in Crisis 3. Show you some Crossfire. Yep, we got MSI Afterburner. I am running MSI Afterburner. I'm not overclocking at all, but I am using the fan profile from 60 to 80. If the temperatures get to be 80, we're running at 100%. So you will hear these fans spin up a bit, but that's only because I'm not trying to, I'd rather have a little loudness than overheat my card. So that's what you're gonna run into there. Alright, Crisis 3, is this thing on? Is this thing available? Is it working? Yeah, looks like it is. Alright, let's get it going. Alright. So I got, well, you guys can't see that. I'm gonna have to make it so you can. You guys even see that over there? Alright. Let's take a look at the settings. Everything's on super high here. Probably shouldn't be doing this because it's, but I am running 2560 by 1440. No anti-aliasing, because you know my name. Anti-aliasing is a terrible thing. It blurs your image and slows down your frame per second. Stop using it, guys. Just cut it out. There's no reason for you to do that. Just don't use it at all. So let's see here. So I am using a wired 360 controller. That's how it is for most of the games. This isn't Crossfire here, so let's see the kind of performance we'd be getting if we wasn't running Crossfire at 2560 by 1440p. Let's turn off Crossfire. And what you might see here, which has happened to me already today, is it might re-scramble my icons. It's already happened today once. And it looks like it didn't happen this time, which is awesome. So there it is, it's disabled now. Let's go back in. Make sure, is this thing on? Is it? Is it on? Okay, yeah, it's on. But the I got these from my local Best Buy. They wanted, I think, like 270, like 269. Newegg were selling them for 219. And for you, those of you guys who don't know, Best Buy does do price matching for Newegg. So all I gotta do is just tell them, they'll go look it up. Normally they're walking around with little iPads, or they got something where their computer is. And they'll go look it up for you, and they'll give it to you at that price once they see it there. I originally had a GTX 770, you know, the gray one with the little letters lit up. I kept it for 3 weeks, took it back, and got these two because I wasn't satisfied with the graphics. I'm really not a NVIDIA fan, not anymore, since I've gotten this monitor. I don't know if it's the fact that it's running at 2560 by 1440p, or the fact that it's a QHD PLS monitor, which is like very detailed. But because of that, I saw the flaws in how AMD does their, or I should say NVIDIA does their graphics. So I like AMD does graphics way better than NVIDIA, so I just went ahead and went with, I'll be running those cards from now on. But as you guys can see, I was getting like 40s, 30s, I'm like in the high teens now, which is just unacceptable. But again, I am running at 2560 by 1440p, so with very high detailed textures and everything. So let me show you that again. You can see. Now I could get a lot more frames per second out of this if I turn down the graphics and everything, but let's just say for you guys, I'll do this for you guys out there that's got the 1080p stuff. So this is what a single 780 or 7870. Yeah, this because it is what this card is. The R9 270X. This is what a single one will do. The kind of frames per second you get out of this. So let's go do some playing. As you can see, this is very playable. I'm getting the same frames pretty much I was getting before I turned off Crossfire. But yeah, there you go. That's what you'd be getting. Let's see here. I'll show the difference in Borderlands 2. Because like I said, I haven't found any place that anybody's doing any kind of gameplay performance for R9, any of the R9 series anywhere on YouTube. So I'll give you guys some. But the R9 270X is a very strong card for you guys. So just let you know that it's pretty strong. I am going to show you guys how to enable physics on AMD cards. In this video, I'll do it like after I'm done showing the difference between Crossfire and non-Crossfire. This is non-Crossfire right now. Let's see. I like Frostburn Canyon. It's a pretty demanding section, but I'll let you guys see the settings that I'm running. Video. You see, I got everything is maxed out as I can, pretty much. 2560 by 1440p there. I'm doing full distance. I got medium physics on there. It's grayed out, but it is running. It does have physics in it, as you can see. See all that? That's physics. I'll do some quick gameplay right quick, and then we'll switch out and we'll turn Crossfire back on so you guys can see the difference in frames. In the 60s now. It's going to drop down to 40s in one of these sections actually, but that's just because I'm running physics, and it's the processor. I'm using processor power over the graphics card to run physics. Just so you guys know, don't try to put your physics up to over medium, because that's all all that AMD's capable of doing. And giving you playable frame rates. Otherwise, you're just using too much of your CPU power to run your graphics, and it's just going to be super laggy for you. All right. '50s. '40s with medium physics. So at 2560 by 1440p. So if I was running this at 1080p, I mean, wow, it'd just be way better. So let's go ahead and switch this out and see how I'll get 60s here. Switch out real quick. .12 minutes already. See how it reset my icons here? I don't know why it does that. It just does part of running multi-card setups, guys. Just so you know, if you're planning on doing this with SOLI or Crossfire, you're gonna run into some issues. It's not all it's cracked up to be, but you know, you learn to deal with them if you know, that's how you want to play. And before we started, we were sitting at what, 80 around here in this little section. It's up to over 100, 130, 125. So Crossfire is not broken. It does work. I don't know where the people were getting that stuff from that was saying it, but the only game I've noticed that Crossfire does not scale is in the new Tomb Raider 2013. It doesn't scale at all. I don't know if they just haven't added Crossfire support for it, or I don't know. I don't know what they've done or haven't done with it. Ooh, big boy. See ya. That was hilarious. So up to 72. It's gonna drop down to like the 40s once all this. Oh, guess not. 50s in there. Doing about the same I was doing in this section. The reason for that is because you get all this physics going on, you know, blowing, I don't know, the banners or whatever, crap like that. Frame pricing is on. Yep, you get some frame dips every once in a while, but it goes back up. It just depends on how much physics is on the screen at the time. But there you go. Alright. Let me show you guys how to enable physics. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go to wherever you've got Borderlands 2 installed. I've got it installed on my G drive. And you want to go into what this thing is called here, the Willow Game folder. Then you want to go to config. Then you want the default engine. Click on that, and you want to take this down to about right here. Just grab it and just take it down to about a little bit more than half to where you start, to where you see system settings. And once you see that, you're gonna look over here for something that's called physics level right here. All right, now it's got 3 physics levels. 0 is off or low, 1 is medium, 2 is high. And you can set it to 3, but anything over 2 is going to give you way more physics, and the only way you'd be able to run those fluently is if you have an NVIDIA card. But if you have an AMD card, you set this to 1, you can either click out of this on the X, or you can come over here and hit save, and it'll ask you to save. You just say yes, and it's going to reset your settings, and then you just go back into the game, and then you reset everything back up. But you'll notice that your physics is blacked out, and it will let you know about that. Let me show you real quick. I should have showed you while I was in. Let's see. Let me show you real quick what I ran into in Assassin's Creed 4, and it had to do with God rays. While you're using Crossfire, I don't know if this affects SLI at all, but it turns out, it looks like that you see that 62.3 up there for the frames per second. I think that is the cap. You can't get any higher than that. At least not with at least not at 2560 by 1440p anyway. It looks like, because I turned this down to 1080p, and it was still capped at that 62 point whatever. But I'm using Crossfire. I'm only getting 33 frames per second. That's a lot of people say, well, this game's broken. I got all the graphics all the way up. Let me show you the graphics settings here. And I'm getting these really low frame rates. Now I'm running at 2560 for 1440. And right now I have God rays on high. And I'm going to show you a really demanding part section on this map. Where the frame rate just tanks. Let's see here. Where is it at? It just tanks. About right here. It's got I'm doing about 32, and I'm running Crossfire. But God rays is on high. Okay. Just simply go in here and turn your God rays down to low. All of a sudden, we're close to 60. That's 59 right there. 62. The game still looks awesome. And I don't know if this does not affect the single card aspect, but when you're running dual Crossfires, R9 270Xs anyway, this will fix that. You're not getting a lot of frames out of here. But I just want to show you guys that even if I turn this down, turn the resolution down, to 1080, yes. I'm not getting any higher, or any higher than 62 frames per second cap there. It's like it's like it's capped at 62 frames per second. I don't know what that is. It's just how it runs. Yeah. So there we go. There you go. So that one was there. So we're getting really close to the end of this video. I got 2 minutes left for recording. Show you more. I really did want to show you guys some more stuff, but there. Now I think I'm just zooming the video right here for now. I'll show you more a little bit of Crossfire performance later. Let me see if I can work and make this work. quick. Get here. Let me see if I can get back in here. I got got a little time. Let's turn Crossfire off. Broken. It's, a lot of people say it's not broken. It's really not. Crossfire is not. It's got a page. You didn't know I watched that frame I was in. I did notice that while I was playing board, that if frame on Borderlands 2, if I had frame pacing arms and I was getting lower frame Crossfire, so I was without Crossfire. Yeah. So go back in time quick. Oh, hopefully I got enough time on the video. Some single where you guys can see single card performance here. Let's go down to 53 hands. And we get down to the wire. Seconds. 6 seconds. This is a P. Alright. At 1080p. Remember 2, 41, 42, 42, 41, 44. Go back and turn on. Go 40 up to 14p. Hour 30 back into the bow. Now strong sitting at just solely. So very